start getting used to this, it's easier and easier to fill up the page. It's easier and easier to fill up you go through an entire stack of Post-its in one brain dump session. It is so easy to fill this sucker up and be like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. So much was rattling around inside of my brain. But eventually you're going to start to see that this column of the eventually and outsource, that's why it's so much bigger than all of the other ones is, you're going to see this column fill up. You're going to see that as you go through the week and you're like, you know what? I really didn't get to Facebook. And you started with, it's so important to do today. And then it gets put off till tomorrow. And then it gets put off till this week. And then it gets relegated to this month column. And then before you know it, it's going to be the end of the month. And you're like, well, I guess it wasn't that important, was it? But it is kind of an important thing. Like whenever I do these brain dumping things, I don't judge myself. It's like brainstorming when you guys were in, elementary school and no, it wasn't brainstorming. Yes. But also like hypothesis. Did anybody else in grade school have a teacher who was like, make your hypothesis, make your best guess. There's no judgment. There's no right or wrong answer. What is your best guess as to what's going to happen? That's basically what we're saying. There's no right or wrong way to brain dump. There's no right or wrong way to like say, man, I have a lot of things that I have to do this week. Write it all down, get it all out of your brain so that you can look at it objectively and be like, why do I feel like I need to analyze my analytics right now? Why do I feel like this is something that's important? Because it is, but it's not. It's not going to help me move forward. It's going to help me understand what I need to do. But if I only have 4 hours in a day and it's broken up into half an hour segments, if I have 8 half an hour segments that I know that I can work in a day, am I going to spend one of them analyzing analytics? Probably not. So I'm going to not look at my analytics. Instead, I'm going to do the things that are going to help me grow my audience, grow my reach, get more people into my world, grow my bottom line, make more money. At the end of the day, analytics are important. Like, I'm not going to lie, they are important. But if you only have 4 hours, do not waste them on analytics. Do not open Google Analytics. Do not open Pinterest. Do none of those things. Make your pins in Canva, upload them to Pinterest Scheduler or whatever it is that you do. We're not here to talk about Pinterest strategy because that is not my expertise. Making pins is not something that is going to be does not need to be something that takes you down the rabbit hole. You set a race against the clock. This is what I do. In case anybody else is like this is what I do. I gamify everything. So I will do a race against the clock. I'll set a timer on my computer. Can I schedule out 2 weeks of pins in 20 minutes? And I have that race against the clock. And it really helps me to stay focused because I don't know if you know this about me. I do, in fact, have ADD. Maybe it's ADHD. We're not really sure. But if I see something on Pinterest, I'll be like, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Oh my gosh, it's all over the place. There's something else for me to look at. And next thing you know, I'm staring at my Pinterest analytics and I'm like going into detail about why aren't more people clicking on this pin? This was my favorite pin. They're clicking on the ugliest pin that I've ever made. What is happening? And next thing I know, I'm going down a rabbit hole. It does not have to be that way. And that's where the gamification comes in of setting a timer for myself and saying, I have 20 minutes. If this does not get done in 20 minutes, it will not get done. I do not have time to do this tomorrow. It gets done today. And so I'll set that timer for myself and it helps me to watch it tick down. It helps me know that at the end of this time, I do not have to worry at all about pins for the next 2 weeks. It sounds beautiful, doesn't it? And so I don't worry about it. Once it's done, it's done. And that will then free up time over the next 2 weeks. If it takes me 20 minutes to make the pins, 20 minutes to schedule them, I know that now gives me time to go in and update a post. And then that can happen for the next day. Whatever doesn't get done and has moved to tomorrow, we are going to move everything from tomorrow to ASAP. And this is what we're going to see. We've basically given ourselves our tasks that need to get done each day. Anytime that you feel overwhelmed, or if you've ever sat down at your computer, true story, I've done this, and you sit down and you're like hands hovering over keyboard and you're like, I don't even know what I have to do. Because you are either like so overwhelmed by all of the thoughts running through your head, cycling through. It feels kind of like a hurricane of like ideas going around in your brain. And you're like, I don't even know which one to do. There's so many. Brain dump. Inside of your handy dandy little notebook, there's a notes section. You can write all of them down here. And then you can fill things out. You don't have to use the Post-its. Just write them out in what you need to do. Cross it out as you go. Cross things out as you go. Crinkle up the paper and throw it away as you go. But my favorite column, like I said to you guys, my favorite column is this one, is this last one that tells me without question, without any kind of second guessing or like hypothesizing, this tells me, shows me what is not important. What my brain thinks I'm supposed to be doing, but what it's also saying, I do not want to do this. So what can I do? I have two different options. I can either get rid of them completely, or I can hire help to make them into a priority so that I have my time saved to focus on the things that I like to do. Where I started this business to begin with. Like, this is why I wrote blog posts. I literally wrote every single day for 6 months. There was not a single day that I did not make a blog post in 6 months with a brand new baby who had to go to the hospital a bunch of times, like with a lot of health complications. There was not a day that I missed making a blog post. Not because I wanted to necessarily, but because I thought that that was going to be the saving grace of like making my blog into something bigger than it was. The things that will continue to grow your audience, grow your reach, and grow your money at the end of the day, grow your income, revenue, whatever you want to call it. Grow your bottom line, make you money, bring cash into your business. Those are the things that you should be focusing on. Everything else that could be time consuming or draining gets pushed off completely, gets ignored completely, or can get outsourced. That is where this is going to be able to show you everything. Now, your information, your stuff is going to be different than mine. I want you to do this. I want you to practice your brain dumping, especially since it is, you know, the new year and everything. This is the perfect time to practice getting all of the ideas in your head out on paper. Now, you can do this for like the short term, or you can do this for the long term. What are your big business goals? What are the things that you want to do this year? And that's something cool that you can do, is not just for like today, but let's say this year I want to launch a new product. I want to launch a signature course. Okay, now I can use my brain dump sheet to do all of the things that I know need